Kabunay sa bayan, I'm Attorney Donna, the property lawyer. Today, I am here in Nazaré, Portugal. Look at that view! See this famous viewpoint for their big waves? This is Nazaré. So ever since I watched an IG reel about big wave surfing in Nazaré, it's always been part of my bucket list. The waves here can reach up to 30 meters in height. Para mas imagine yung height na yun, it's about 30 stories na condominium building. Ganun kalalaki yung waves dito sa Nazaré. The waves in Cloud9 break in our very own Siargao Island in the Philippines. It can reach up to 4 meters. So that's around 1-story building. And so if your dream is to push human limits, chase monster ropes, and watch legends in action, then please come to Nazaré and see these waves for yourself. Ngayon nga lang, hindi season pa ngayon. Ang season dito is winter. So we're in front of the Atlantic Ocean as well. So imagine niyo lang kung gaano kalambing mag-surfing on that season. Kaya lang yung mga na-attract talaga ng Nazaré are those very highly skilled surfers and international legend methods. Kasi hindi birong mag-surf from a 30-story building, right? Pero kung mas trip na naman mag-surfing with a more laid-back atmosphere, and then there are different kinds of wave for different levels, may beginner, may pang-pro, then please go to our very own Siargao Island in Surigao, Philippines. Anyway, enough about that kasi hindi naman travel channel ang The Property Lawyer channel, no? While we can admire this coastline, let's talk about something that every property buyer should know. It's easements and salvage zones. Na-inspire lang ako sa topic na to kasi napakalawak ng coastline dito. Tingnan nyo, guys. Tingnan nyo. Oh, may mga nagsisurfing pa doon. So, there are legal limits on what you can do on your land, both here in Portugal and back home in the Philippines. Now, back to the property lawyer mode. In the Philippines, easement is a real right that one property owner has over another person's land. Ang pinaka-common na easement na I'm sure alam niyong lahat ay yung easement ng right-of-way. In Portugal, they are called servitudes. It's the same concept where one property benefits from another. They're usually registered in the land registry. Usually, in an easement, there is a dominant estate and a servient estate. The dominant estate, ibig sabihin ng word dominant, is the one who benefits from the other. Meron ding servient estate, servient, servant, which is the property that carries the burden. So, halimbawa lang, if your land is landlocked, ibig sabihin, may mga katabi ka, wala kang pwedeng daanan. Ibig sabihin, ng landlocked is, nasa gitna yung property nyo, tapos may mga iba't ibang property ng pakalibot. Dahil wala kang madaanan, you need an access to the highway. Your property is the dominant estate and your neighbor's property is the servient estate. Here in Portugal, it's also the same. If a house needs to pass through another driveway to reach the road, that house is dominant and the one granting the access is servient. So, as I previously mentioned, the most common easement in the Philippines is the right-of-way. There are also easements for water, drainage, light, and view. And for party walls. And very important for beachfront properties, the salvage zone or foreshore easement. In Portugal, servitudes here include right-of-way, water use, and light. But coastal areas like this are under the maritime public domain, meaning the shoreline. This entire shoreline that you see right here is all reserved for the public. Kaya tingnan nyo guys, wala talagang nakakonstruct. Siguro yung shoreline nila dito, mga 100 meters yung haba. But wala siyang permanent construction because all of this is public land. And we will discuss that in more detail as we go on through this video. Under Philippine law, specifically Presidential Decree 1067 or the Water Code of the Philippines, the salvage zone is measured from the highest tide. So it's 3 meters in urban areas, 20 meters in agricultural areas, and 40 meters in forest areas. This means that the strip of land measured from the highest tide, so all of that, the purpose of having the foreshore line is for it to be open for public use, navigation, recreation, and environmental protection. So even if you hold title, this strip is for public use. You cannot build permanent structures there. Kung naalala nyo nung 2018, nung pinasara ni former President Duterte ang buong Boracay. So imagine kung gaano ka-shocking yun, lalo na para sa mga negosyante na nag-o-operate ng resort, may mga residential areas din doon sa Boracay. Pinasara niya for 6 months. One of the key issues identified was the violation of foreshore easement. Many establishments, hotels, restaurants, bars have been built too close to the shoreline. It was well within the 20-meter salvage zone. So the DNR and the DILG, kung naalala nyo, enforced the law by demolishing or ordering the removal of illegal structures that encroached on the 20-meter easement. This case actually highlighted the balance between property rights and the state's police power to protect the environment and enforce public use of natural resources. So ngayon, mas maayos naman din na ang Boracay kasi dati mahihirapan kang maglakad, di ba, along the foreshore dahil andun yung mga bars. Pero hindi pa rin kasing lawak ng nakikita nyo dito yung ating foreshore easement sa Pilipinas. Kasi dito sa Portugal, they also have a concept that is similar to our concept of foreshore easement. It is called the Domínio Público Marítimo. In simple terms, it means all the coastal areas, the beach, dunes, those cliffs that you see over there, and the strip of land up to the highest tide belong to the state, not to private owners. You can enjoy it. Yes, as nakikita nyo, maraming mga nagsasunbathing dito ngayon. Or you can even apply for a license. You can even apply for a license or concession to build something temporary like a beach hut or marina. As you can see here, there are beach bars around the area. And they had to apply for a special license or concession from the government just to be able to operate one. But you can see their structures, it's very temporary. Hindi pwedeng concrete. Example, kung nakikita nyo, so iikot tayo ha. So, ito yung foreshore, di ba? Ngayon, pag iikot tayo, makikita nyo dito yung cliff. So, yan ay public land din. And then, dito sa likod natin, makikita nyo ang restaurant. So that one is well beyond the foreshore easement already. Kaya nagkaroon sila dyan ng permanent structure. Here as well, public access must always be respected. Even luxury resorts cannot close the public beach. So in practical terms, if you buy a house on the Portuguese coast, your garden might stop at the line of the Domínio Público Marítimo. You cannot fence off the beach or prevent people from passing. So if you want to open a beach cafe, you must apply for a concession from the state, and it will be temporary and not permanent ownership. Instead of fixed meters like in the Philippines, we have a 20-meter easement. Here, they use flexible zoning and environmental rules. Now, what are the implications of these easements and rules? In the Philippines, easements may be written or implied by law. Salvage zones, right-of-way, and drainage easements exist even if it's not in your title. Courts can enforce them if a neighbor blocks your way. Whereas in Portugal, servitudes are usually registered. But maritime restrictions, they automatically apply. So always check the land registry and local coastal plans before buying. So let's recap the difference. In Portugal, the entire foreshore is always part of the public domain. In the Philippines, you may still hold title up to the beachfront, but the law carves out the 20 meters as a foreshore easement. So here is my property wise tip. Always check the memorandum of encumbrances and check the easement annotations so that you are aware of the existing easements on the property. it is not really a red flag because the property can still be transferred and you can still use it, but the use might be limited due to the easements. So don't just rely on what the seller tells you. Get a certified copy, trace back the ownership, and consult a property lawyer before you buy. So I have created a checklist or a video on that discussing the checklist on how to conduct your due diligence. You can watch it here. Because as we know in real estate, what you don't know can cost you big time. So whether you're in Portugal or the Philippines, the law makes sure that the sea, the land, and the entire community work together. So before you buy, always ask, are there easements? Is there a salvage zone? And which side of the estate am I? Dominant or servient? Remember, I'm Attorney Donna, the property lawyer. Be informed, be empowered, and always be property wise. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more property law tips, both in the Philippines and in Portugal. See you in the next video.